Hey, hi everyone, it's Koinzell here. Although I've quit BDM, I bet you guys weren't expecting that I'll do one more merchant tree guide, right? So actually, when I reviewed that I quit in the stream previously, I already mentioned that I will continue doing BDM guides. It's just that the frequency may not be as high, especially since I'm playing Genshin now. But honestly speaking, I do recognize the need for a merchant tree guide right now because I think it's not being covered at the moment. So I'm more than happy to do it actually. And I happen to have a sub account that I can use to at least describe to you guys how to optimize your route based on the amount of food that you have. Because I understand that many people in global right now, you definitely have not reached level 100 in merchantry. I think most folks are at like 70 plus, 80 plus. So your food will be around 100k to 110k instead of 120 plus k when you are level 100. So then how then to take the route or to do a route that fits the amount of food while still using the triple horse cart? Because the triple horse cart consumption is crazy. It's seriously crazy. It's 500 per tick, 150 for the time tick, the one that happens per time, while 500 is per distance, per block of distance. Alright, so in this video I'll share some tips on how best to optimize your route without affecting your rapport as well with the vendors, your affinity or rapport. I'm talking about this value here, that is 200. Obviously mine is 0 now because it's been ages since I logged in. You can see here for these 2 days on this account. Okay, so it's actually very straightforward. I'll share with you guys my method of optimizing my route. There's actually 2 ways. The straightforward, no, I shouldn't say straightforward. There is one way, which is to split your route into halves and do the 2 halves. But that means that you sacrifice your SS rating, right? Because you are covering 2 little distance, you are doing 2 little tasks, etc. So how then to do SS, 4x SS with the route, the full route, or rather 1 route rather than 2 routes. So it's going to be very straightforward. If you have been following my route, you know that it starts from this town here. Sorry, I don't know the English name. Atinova, I think. Something like that. Okay, so sorry, I used to remember the English names, but I forgot already. So what happens is that if your food is not enough, what you can do is always skip these 2 towns. Alright, okay, I shouldn't use the word always because I'll explain how to avoid that, losing rapport in these 2 towns. What you can do is that when you are going from here to the next town, your next town, you should just skip these 2 and go straight to this Kesha or Kesha. I'm not sure what the official translation would be. Skip the excavation ruins as well. Okay, so in other words, you skip that roundabout where you go through 2 towns and one of these excavation sites before you reach this village. Go straight direct because there is a direct route that you can take. So that's definitely the route that you should take. In fact, let me see. Let me just sacrifice some of my merchant tree anyway. Not that I care about this particular merchant tree I run anyway. So why do I call it sacrifice? Because it's going to consume food per tick over time with me not moving. Okay, so it's very straightforward, right? You can just take this route here and go straight up instead of going around here to this village, down to the next village, and then to this particular exit here. Just skip these 2 towns on one day. On your first day, let's say your first day of optimizing your route, you can skip these 2 towns. It should save you a range of 10 to 11k food. No, in fact more than that, because it's a big round. It might even save you up to 20k food. Because it's really one big round, it can save you I think 15k to 20k foot. I don't have a main account now to really test this out anymore, but based on my memory of when my merchant tree level was like the same as you guys in global right now, I remember this is really what I did, skipping specific tiles to attain the efficiency, the route, so that I can still get 4 double S. Okay, so on day 1, right, you can do this for this part. Okay, be it coming from the other point, i.e. from this to here, or starting from here to this. Okay, that's one part of the optimization. Now there's a second optimization that can be done, which is basically on the other side of the route. Okay, let me talk about another simpler optimization. The other simpler optimization is to skip this. So you go direct from this town all the way to the next. Since it's so near, I'll just use the list here. So let's show you guys what I mean. Its FES is very choppy. Graphics like there is are terrible compared to Genshin, but yeah. Oh, my bad. I actually have to go through quite a bit of route. Okay, I tell you what, I am going to skip the town, because I just want to go to the map to show you guys. I can do this for now, but the last point I probably won't go all the way to the last point itself on the route. I don't have enough food anyway, and this is not a 3-horse cart, this is 2-horse cart, so I just want to show you guys the route, not the actual run itself. Okay, so I'm talking about skipping this town here, but it really doesn't save that much food. It's something that you can do if you are just lacking that little bit of amount, you're just exceeding by that little bit of amount, which if you ask me is probably about 4 to 5k food. So what you can do is once you reach the Valia, just go straight here to Serendia. Skip this, the West Guard post, because the West Guard post actually involves you doing quite a bit. This part here, the detour is not big, but the detour on this part here is big, mainly because of the fact that you have to go up and down this portion here. Yeah, this is the problem here. Okay, if you go here, you don't have to go through that detour, you just go straight down and go. So that is the reason why I say that this is a second optimization that you can consider. Okay, now let's go back to the map itself. Let's talk about the last region. The rest of it you can follow my route as per normal until California North. Okay, that's the third optimization possibility that you can do. Now the third possibility you can do, by now you should be familiar with this. Okay, if you are looking at my guide, what you can do is when you enter this particular map itself, California North, instead of going to this Felorine, I honestly don't know what's the English name, I only know the California one. You can skip this town and go straight to California. So if you look at this point here, right, when you go to merchant tree, what happens is that my route always brings you to this town, here, and then here. What you can do is just skip to these 2 towns altogether and go here. Okay, that's the third optimization possibility. The fourth and final possibility is in California West itself. Don't go to this town. Just stop here. Just stop here at this town. Okay. So then your next stop might be, so which one should I take? I unfortunately can't advise or prescribe the perfect route because it really depends on your merchant tree level. You guys will need to tweak based on the tips that I have given. So what you can do is first shave off the first possibility, these 2 towns plus the excavation, and see if you have sufficient food for you to run the full route. And you can just continue running all the way until you reach this town, the second last stop in my route, and then you can see whether or not you have enough food to reach here. If you don't, and your food is not accessed by a lot, it means that your route will simply be to skip those 3 and this. That's for your 1 day, right? Then how about the rapport that you will lose? That's simple. Why do I say simple? Because the next day, you are going to go to those towns that you skip, and you skip the other options that I mentioned. That's why I give you guys 4 optimization options. Okay? On the first day, day A, should I say A? Okay, day 1, you should choose 2 out of the 4 to skip. The up to 2, sorry, you can choose 1 also if your food can allow it. So choose 2 out of the 4 to skip, so that you reach the efficiency in terms of having 1 full run, but as skipping those towns and getting 4 double S's in your rating. And then the next day, on day 2, go for the other 2, or rather skip the other 2 options and go for the 2 options that you skipped on the previous day. Why am I suggesting this? It's actually very simple. It's so that you maintain your rapport, because the rapport system is very simple. It's just a matter, okay, it used to be 3 days. I think right now it's 7 days or 5 days. As long as you do a purchase with the vendor within that set amount of period, your rapport will not drop. Okay, your rapport or affinity will not drop. I can't remember the exact term for it. So with that, right, just alternate your runs in terms of the skipping, alternate the areas that you will skip, and your rapport will never drop, and you still get your 4 double S on the shorter route, slightly shorter route than the full route that I recommended. And then once you get enough food to do the full route, you can just go ahead and do the full route, right? It's actually very straightforward. This is what I did when my merchantry level was not high, or rather my merchantry level was like 70 plus, 80 plus. This is exactly what I did. I'm simply sharing you guys, based on my experience, the best way to optimize. So likewise, right, if you already have enough experience, you know that your food level, what type of route you can take. It's also the same thing when you start from here. Let's say if you start from here, you know that you have to skip, for example, in the California North, this place and this place. Then you just go straight from California all the way to the next map. Just skip these two points here, right? Don't go that big round like this. Just go like this. Okay. Likewise, based on the food, you can decide whether or not you want to go to the west guard post, or just simply go to Valia and then do Medea map. Again, for Medea map, based on your food, your remaining food. One tip I can give is always look at the food required, because this is a very good indication. Okay, for you to decide whether or not to skip, use this as an indication, so that you know, based on the amount of food required listed here, you more or less know whether or not you need to skip and do the options that I mentioned, the skipping options, or you can just do the full route. Okay, so that's what I can share with regards to how to optimize your route such that you can still get 4 double S when you don't have level 100 merchantry with triple horse cart or wagon. Now I just touched on the very last part for this guide, which is about how best to pump up your level. I actually mentioned this before, but I will just say it again. Just find a slightly softer music. Okay, so I personally, right, how should I put it? Once your merchantry level is at 90 plus especially, the best way to level, even right now at 70 plus or 80 plus, the best way to level is actually to craft the accessory that you can sell using the 3 mystical light stones, right? Or the 3 mystical crystals to craft the accessory that you can sell for silver at the Wandering Merchant. That is actually the best way to pump up your level. Once you reach a certain level, right, even doing the full route with a bit of optimization like what I've just shared, the amount of XP you get from that is equivalent to the amount of XP when you sell the maximum amount of accessories of that specific accessory to the Wandering Merchant. Now I actually don't recommend using Mystical Lightstone, because in future Hardened Potion is actually a very, very valuable resource. You should save it for your Hardened Potion, Hardened Holy Vial. So you should use the Mystical Crystals. Why? Why do I say that? Because you guys know, right? The rate of getting a Abyssal Crystal from Mystical Crystal is abysmal. Okay, it's abysmal. The success rate is so low that it's just not worth it, in my opinion. So that's why I feel that you should just use Mystical Crystals to sell for silver. It gives you a very nice amount of silver, and it gives you a very nice boost in the merchantry level SP as well. Of course, this is depending on your resources. If you do have it, use it for that. That's what I mean. Okay, I really remember this was the way I pumped my merchantry level up. I remember hitting 100 before a lot of my guildmates as well. This was the method that I employed. So I hope this guide is helpful to you guys, especially since I saw quite a bit of comments asking like, with 100 plus K full, what can you do? This is what you can do. Okay, I've already given 4 options to skip, which parts to skip in the route, and to do alternate of this skipping, so that you don't lose rapport as well. So, right, I hope this is okay. I'm a bit repeating myself, but I really hope that this is helpful to you guys. And thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys next video. Bye.